Before we jump into today's story, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the channel because we cover college football stories you won't hear anywhere else, from elite quarterbacks to behind-the-scenes coaching moments that actually matter. And today's topic is a perfect example of why the 2026 college football season is already shaping up to be must-watch, as Oregon Ducks head coach Dan Lanning publicly addressed Ohio State head coach Ryan Day's leadership, mental health advocacy, and resilience while the Buckeyes quietly sit on top of the sport with the #1 graded quarterback in college football, a $2.4 million nil star who is changing how we talk about young quarterbacks in today's game. Because just weeks after the college football playoff national championship wrapped up and Indiana shocked the country by taking down Miami, the offseason conversation officially shifted into prediction mode with Heisman odds, preseason rankings, and playoff projections dominating the headlines. And right in the middle of that noise, Pro Football Focus dropped a list that instantly caught the attention of fans, coaches, and NFL scouts alike by naming Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin as the highest-graded passer heading into the 2026 season, a massive statement considering the depth of quarterback talent across college football. And Sayin didn't just barely earn that spot either, as he posted a staggering 92.9 PFF grade, the best among all FBS quarterbacks last season, which is even more impressive when you remember where his journey started, because Sayin originally committed to Alabama under Nick Saban as part of the 2024 recruiting class, enrolling early and preparing to be the future of the Crimson Tide, only for everything to change when Saban announced his retirement, forcing Sayin to make one of the toughest decisions a young quarterback can face by entering the transfer portal and choosing a new path. And that path led him to Columbus, where he initially served as a backup during Ohio State's championship run, appearing sparingly in blowout wins and quietly developing behind the scenes before finally taking over the offense in 2025. And when he did, the results were immediate and overwhelming, as Sayin threw for 3,610 yards, 32 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions, guiding Ohio State to a perfect regular season record, showcasing elite accuracy, poise, and decision-making well beyond his years, as he completed an astonishing 77% of his passes, a number that places him among the most accurate quarterbacks college football has ever seen, trailing only Mac Jones' record season at Alabama and matching Oregon's Bo Nix, which makes the rivalry angle even spicier when you factor in Dan Lanning's comments, because while Sayin's season wasn't flawless, with the Cotton Bowl loss to Miami standing out as his toughest performance, it was also one of the few games where he faced sustained pressure and adversity, something Ohio State head coach Ryan Day has been openly vocal about preparing his players for, not just physically but mentally. And that's where Dan Lanning's remarks become so important, as the Oregon head coach took time to acknowledge Ryan Day's efforts in promoting suicide awareness and mental health support within college football, emphasizing that leadership today extends far beyond wins and losses and into how coaches protect and support young athletes navigating enormous pressure, nil expectations, social media criticism, and national scrutiny. And Lanning made it clear that while Ohio State and Oregon are competitors, there's a shared respect when it comes to prioritizing the well-being of players, especially quarterbacks who often carry the weight of entire programs on their shoulders. And that context makes Julian Sayin's rise even more remarkable, because not only did he handle elite competition on the field, but he also managed the expectations that come with being the face of Ohio State football, earning Big Ten Freshman of the Year, a second-team All-Big Ten selection, and nationally taking home the Shaun Alexander Freshman of the Year award, while finishing 4th in Heisman Trophy voting, which is almost unheard of for a player so early in his career. And what truly separates Sayin from the rest of the field heading into 2026 is the simple fact that he's the only Heisman finalist from last season returning, instantly making him the early favorite in next year's race, while also placing a massive target on Ohio State's back, because defenses will now spend the entire offseason trying to figure out how to slow him down. But even with that attention, the Buckeyes appear well positioned as Sayin becomes draft eligible in 2027, setting up a future quarterback class that could include names like Oregon's Dante Moore and Texas star Arch Manning, making the Big Ten versus national powerhouse conversation even more intense. And when you zoom out and connect all the dots, this story isn't just about stats or rankings, it's about how college football is evolving, where elite quarterback play, nil value, mental resilience, and coaching leadership are all intertwined. And Dan Lanning's comments about Ryan Day serve as a reminder that behind every headline-grabbing passer is a human being dealing with pressure most fans never see. And if Julian Sayin's trajectory is any indication, Ohio State isn't just built to compete in 2026, they're built to lead the next era of college football. So if you're a Buckeye fan, a Ducks fan, or just someone who loves the game, this is one storyline you absolutely need to follow all season long.